We're less than a week away from the largest content drop since launch on Marvel's Avengers, and today we've been given our first official look at some of the actual War for Wakanda gameplay thanks to IGN, Game Informer, and Xbox Dynasty. We're going to start off with a look at Wakanda itself, where we can see the new outpost we'll be able to explore. We can see a new Wakandan themed war table placed in the centre of the room, and some NPC Wakandan guards and scientists scattered around the room as well. The cityscape looks absolutely stunning, and hopefully there's a mission or maybe even a patrol mode where we can explore the city itself in the future. We also get to look at another room which looks out onto the city. This is by far the best looking outpost in the game, and hopefully it has some cool Easter eggs and secrets that we're able to explore and find as well. In terms of gameplay, we're shown a lot of Black Panther's attacks and abilities. His standard attacks are full of agility and what you'd expect from a Black Panther character. A lot of clawing, kicking, and even a pounce attack which pins your enemies to the floor. For his ranged attack, T'Challa can use daggers to launch at enemies, letting you weaken them before moving in with his powerful melee attacks. From what I've seen, I'd compare him closest to Black Widow, but he also has a lot of the brute strength like Captain America. As for his abilities, his Assault Heroic equips you with a Vibranium Spear, which has the ability to pin 3 enemies in its path, while also dealing a lot of damage. His Support Heroic lets you use Kimoyo Beads, which automatically target enemies and deal stun damage. These can be upgraded in many different ways, such as the ability to seek out health orbs and even summon Wakandan warriors to the battlefield. This makes it sound like a real customizable wildcard that you can do a lot of different things with and can really help your builds. My favourite of his heroic abilities is by far his ultimate. You can summon the Panther goddess Bast, who charges at enemies and deals damage to them. And it also increases your damage and reduces your damage taken like a lot of the other abilities in the other heroes. I think Black Panther's going to be one of the most satisfying to play as in the game because a lot of his attacks and his movements seem really fun. As for new enemy types, new pictures released have handed us our first look at Crossbones. It's really welcoming to see new boss villains being added to the game, because a lot of this first year has just been plagued by not enough different boss villains, because we've just been fighting the same ones over and over again. So I really like what they're doing here and adding in Crossbones as a new villain type. He's also got a really great modern version of his comic design, and instead of having the cross painted on his chest, he's actually got 2 bandoliers in the shape of a cross on his chest. So I really like this modernization of his comic look. We haven't got any gameplay of him yet, but it's only a few days until we can actually see the first missions on the Crystal Dynamics livestream, so I'm sure we'll get a look at him there. As for the Claw Company Mercenaries, these offer a real switch up to the usual AIM robots that we're fighting. They're equipped with suits made of corrupted vibranium which increase their defense if they land enough hits on you. So we've got bruiser enemies and they have the large axes which they slowly swing at you. So it gives you a lot of time to counter it by dodging and then doing another attack afterwards to deal a lot of damage to them. The devs seem to have picked up on the criticism of a lack of diversity within the enemy types, so now we've got a lot of support enemies. So there's a strategist which deploys drones and it buffs other enemies, and then there's also sonic powered enemies which can protect other mercenaries from damage. You'll want to damage these first and defeat them so you can really get the upper hand in combat. There's also a marksman which teleports and throws mines, which also has a railgun, and the Claw Company Heavy has a giant machine gun. IGN's preview said that there's a lot of new puzzles to solve, similar to what was found in Crystal Dynamics' Lara Croft games, and this is a much welcome change to the normal vault missions and unlockable door puzzles that we've been doing for a year now, and I can really tell that they're going to be good at this jungle theme, because all of their old Lara Croft games had some really good landscapes that we were able to explore. The first 2 story missions have been quoted to about 30 minutes each, so hopefully we're going to get a lot of story, and altogether the entire story should be about 25 hours for the whole game, so that includes the original campaign, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye's stories as well. Keep an eye out on Monday for a new war table featuring more information and gameplay, and that will be on the Crystal Dynamics Twitch channel. Heading into the future of the game, War for Wakanda really is a pivotal moment in the future, because if this brings in enough players, then surely we're going to see a lot of new content being brought to the game. Because we're 12 months on from the launch now, it's in a much better state than it used to be, but they still got a lot to add to make it a really good game, and hopefully it's only a couple of weeks wait until we can get a new roadmap for the next year. After all, Spider-Man is still happening, right? Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw here today, then maybe consider subscribing to catch our other content as and when it releases.